All right. Thank you all for being here. Obviously not the result we wanted, but these courageous workers reached out to us because they wanted justice. They led us. They led this fight. And that's what this is all about. And what happens next is up to them. Justice isn't just about one vote or one campaign. It's about getting a voice and getting your fair share. And, workers won serious gains in this campaign. Don't lose sight of that. The UAW bump. They killed wage tiers. They got rid of a CEO that had no interest in improving conditions for these workers. Mercedes is a better place thanks to this campaign and these courageous workers. The company said give the new CEO a chance. And, it's ironic. We've heard this before, and that's exactly what Volkswagen told its workers in 2019. And in 2024, Volkswagen workers realized that it's not about the CEO. It's about a voice on the job. It's about getting our lives back, getting our times back, and having dignity on the job. And the only path to do that, the only vehicle for that, is with a union contract. This company engaged in egregious, illegal behavior. The federal government and the German government are currently investigating Mercedes for the intimidation and harassment that they inflicted on their own workers. And we intend to follow that process through. It's a David versus Goliath fight. Sometimes Goliath wins a battle, but ultimately David will win the war. These workers will win their fair share. And we're going to be there every step of the way with them. We've been here before. We know what we're taking on. And this company, like most others, operated off the same playbook of fear, threats, intimidation. Our fight isn't just here. Our fight is in the legislators, in the halls of legislature. 60 million Americans say if they had the opportunity, they would join a union. Why doesn't that happen? When we polled the state of Alabama, when we polled the state of Tennessee, 2-to-1 margin, people said that they sided with the UAW, that they would join the UAW. But we all know, we have weak labor laws in place. Enforcement is a struggle. And sometimes the companies are able to turn those numbers around. And, obviously statistics show one thing, but, with laws and the way the companies violate it, sometimes, we end up on the wrong end of this. But this law stings. While this law stings, tell you this, we're going to keep our heads up, keep our heads held high. These workers have nothing to do but be proud of the effort they put forth and what they've done. We fought the good fight, and we're going to continue forward. Ultimately, these workers here are going to win. I've lost elections in my life. Most of us have lost elections in our lives. We learn from it, and we move forward, and that's what we intend to do. We put everything we had in this fight. We left nothing on the table, so there's no regrets in this fight. And I look at, John Wooden, one of my favorite Americans, and I love his Pyramid of Success. And I look at that, his definition of success. Success is the peace of mind attained through the self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to become the best of which you're capable. And these courageous workers, all of them, I know they put every bit of effort they could into this. I know they did the absolute best they could do. And I know they're going to continue to carry this fight on, and they'll hold the company accountable. And, and I'll end with this quote from John Wooden because it's one of my favorites. Success is never final. Failure is never fatal. But it's courage that counts. And that's what matters here. These workers are courageous in what they've done. But the success we've had, it's easy to come in and have press conferences when we win everything we do. That's the easy press conference. But let me assure you, this isn't a failure. This isn't fatal. This is a bump in the road. We've been here before, and we're going to continue on, and we're going to win. And So we'll be back in Vance. I assured the company of that before I walked out the door and shook their hand, and I think we'll have a different result down the road, and I look forward to that. So, you know, I just want to take my hats off to all these courageous workers and what they've done. They led this fight. It's all about them. I say this over and over. This isn't about me. What we do is not about me. It's about bringing justice and dignity to working class people all over this nation and all over this globe. That's what the battle is. The runaway inequality, the runaway wealth inequality in this nation. 3 families in America have as much wealth as the bottom 50%. That is criminal, people. We have a crisis in this nation, and the only way we fix that crisis is by standing up together and becoming united as a working class. We're going to continue on. So, you know, again, not the result we wanted today, but I'm very proud of these workers. We keep our heads up and we march on. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, we'll take some questions.
Mr. Fain, Sam Brock with NBC News.
Yes.
I'm just curious, you mentioned Tennessee. Did that vote a month ago inject some optimism that you would be successful in these efforts? And what do you think changed over the course of those few weeks?
Oh, no, yeah, definitely optimism. And look, everything we're doing, everything these workers have done, it's provided optimism all over the nation. I mean, we've seen a massive increase in people signing up, signing cards to join the union, even today and yesterday. You know, so, you know, the difference to me is just simply, you know, obviously Volkswagen was more neutral, and that wasn't the case here. I mean, this company was having captive audience meetings to the last minute, threatening workers, intimidating workers, having 5 managers on 1 worker meetings, and you know, there's a lot of power in that when you walk into a room and they fired workers. You know, I mean, there's, you know, we can go down the list of this. They brought in outsiders. You know, it's the irony. You know, they try to paint the union in a bad light, as if we're twisting arms and. You know, look, we're here. We're here to help people. That's what we're here for. We don't have to intimidate or threaten nobody. We believe in democracy. We believe in workers having a voice and making that decision. Obviously, you know, I think this just proves one thing, you know, until we can have an absolute neutral, free, and fair election, I mean, this is the fight we have to take on. This is the fight all of labor takes on every time we go in one of these elections, because it's sided one way.
You felt like people's jobs were being threatened by Mercedes-Benz?
Well, people were fired in this process, so yes.
Could you say and spell your name and title, please?
Shawn, S-H-A-W-N, Fain, F-A-I-N, title is UAW President.
There are other automaker plants in Alabama. Can we expect a vote at one of those other plants? If so, which?
No, you bet. I mean, look, we are everything we're doing right now. It's centered on the workers. So, you know, the workers make that decision. You know, as we track it, as we follow it, as we get increases and we get momentum somewhere, then we'll make that decision. But obviously, Hyundai, we have good momentum, and but it's not just in Alabama. We have workers all over this country right now. You know, South Carolina, more in Tennessee, Georgia. I mean, so you know, we're going to keep on, press on. So I don't really want to get into next steps. I mean, but we have a plan, and you know, but we leave a lot of this up to the workers. So
we'll go to Charlie, and then I'm going to take one on Zoom.
I apologize. He just spoke to it.
Oh, never mind. We'll take one on Zoom then. Kaylee Hall from the Detroit News asks, what does this loss mean for your national organizing campaign?
means we keep on doing what we're doing. You know, we're gonna have success. This is part of the process. I mean, nobody has a 100% win record in organizing. I mean, I'd love to have that, but we're going to carry on, keep on fighting. This is about workers. It's about worker justice, worker dignity, and you know, equalizing the runaway wealth inequality in this country. And this is the way we do it. And so we're going to, you know, we'll go back. We'll assess things, see where we are, and we'll just keep moving.
Okay, we'll go here, and then Jack, and then orange shirt, sorry, and then Kim. So that's 4.
Hi, Zoe Blair with WVOA 23 News. Everybody I spoke to today kind of said that yes or no, this wasn't the end. You know, where do you guys go from here with this no vote? With this vote to not unionize? Where do you guys go?
I mean, you know, next, you know, workers, I mean, the sun's going to rise tomorrow. I mean, it's going to set. I mean, the workers will, these guys are going to keep doing what they do. They're going to go into work and work hard and deliver and make a quality product and keep pushing. And we're going to continue supporting the workers here and supporting workers everywhere. And just, as as I said, just assess where we are and you know, and adjust and go forward. I mean, there's a lot more. There are thousands upon thousands, you know, hundreds of thousands of workers in this nation that are looking for union leadership right now and want a union in their workplace. As I said, 60 million workers in this country would organize tomorrow if they had the opportunity. But we all know there's a reason why that don't happen, and it's very clear.
I think Jack was next.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm Jack Ewing from the New York Times.
Mhm.
The Alabama politicians were quite vocal speaking out against the
Yeah.
union, including the governor. I mean,
Yeah.
what do you say about that? What, do you think that had any effect? What's your reaction to it?
You know, everything I think has effect, but I mean, at the end of the day, you know, shame on them, I guess, is my comment on it. I mean, how you say you represent people, and you know, citizens say they want something, and I mean, this is all about one thing. It's about corporate greed. That's what this all goes back to, and that's obviously when they pick a side in this battle, they show whose side they're on. They're not on the side of the working class. They're not on the side of the workers they represent. They're on the side of the companies and the billionaire class, and they show it in their actions. So, you know, that's up to the citizens of the state on who they elect and what their leaders say, and it's up to them to hold them accountable. But I don't, you know, I mean, ultimately, you know, the workers have to do this, and you know, I don't put as much weight with the politicians as I do with what the actions the corporation took. I mean, obviously, you know, when they're breaking the law and they're doing things that are illegal, obviously that has a bigger impact.
I think we were here, and then Kim, and then I'm going to go back to Zoom.
Lisa Crane with WBTM 13 here in Birmingham. Tell me this, you know, the South has been historically not as pro-union as other parts of the country. That has changed a little bit. Why do you think it is harder to make that change in the South?
You know, I think it's, you know, it's just, it's, unfortunately, you know, I go back to my grandparents' generation. I mean, my grandparents left the South. They migrated north because they came out of a depression, and they wanted a better life, and they found it. Luckily, they got UAW jobs at General Motors and Chrysler, and they lived the American dream. You know, I personally don't believe that you should have to leave the South to live the American dream. I believe you can have it right here, but you know, at the end of the day, when you're in right-to-work states, you know, and you're in states that, you know, I mean, when I hear the governor talk about hurting the economy, I mean, you know, what drives the economy is when workers do well. When workers do better, they stimulate the economy, they drive the economy, they spend money. So, you know, but the economy that Kay Ivey's talking about is the economy that works for the corporate class and the billionaire class, where they concentrate all the wealth in their hands. Workers get left behind. So I don't, you know, I mean, I don't really, you know, as far as why, I mean, I believe, you know, that culture was bred here long ago, and you know, but people are realizing it. I believe workers everywhere in this nation are waking up. I think going through a recession in 08, 09, going through a pandemic in 2020, I believe all these things have made working class people realize that there's better out there for them, and they're realizing they have no control over their lives at work, and the only way they get control is through a union, because without a union, you're an employee at will. You have no voice and no rights, and the boss has all the power.
Okay, I think it was Kim, and now I'm going to go to Zoom.
Kim Chandler, Associated Press. After the decisive vote in Tennessee, it seemed to be that the momentum was on your side. Are you scared that this is going to halt your momentum
Not at all.
in the South and encourage companies that they can successfully hold off organization?
I'm not scared at all. I mean, I believe workers want unions. I believe they want justice, and we're going to keep doing what we do, and I think we're going to keep winning. This is a setback, I mean, just here, but you know, the companies are always going to, this is the same playbook they always follow. It's ugly, it's brutal, and it's wrong, and we're going to call it for what it is, and we're going to continue to carry on, but no, I think we're going to be fine. I think workers are going to continue to vote for unions, and we're going to keep building.
And we got one on Zoom from Dave Jameson with Huffington Post. Are you considering filing a challenge to the results of the NLRB based on Mercedes' conduct during the campaign?
I'm leaving that to our legal team to answer those questions, but I mean, obviously, we're following through on complaints both here and in Germany, and you know, I'll leave that to them to answer. So.
All right, I think that's going to be it for Shawn Fain. I think that we can wrap up. I appreciate everyone coming around today. Thank you so much.